We're going to break down the latest rumors and news around the Tennessee Titans. But first, if you want more updates all the time, all season and off-season long, now is the perfect time to subscribe to Tennessee Titans Today. We're getting closer and closer to 1,500 subs. Let's get there. Hit that big red button and join us today. Tom Downey of Chat Sports here with the latest on the Tennessee Titans. We begin with a rumor idea out there around Tennessee adding some linebacker help and a player that some Titans fans should know pretty well. That's inside linebacker Zach Cunningham. The Texans, in a bit of a surprise, did cut Cunningham on Wednesday. Now, because we are past the NFL trade deadline, Cunningham is subject to waivers. And as we'll get into, the contract for this year is very affordable and is fairly easy to claim. Now, Cunningham has not played very well this year, but he was good in the past, so he could make some sense. Here's what Texans reporter Ben Arthur had to say. Rashaan Evans has missed 5 straight games. David Long has missed 3 straight games. Monty Rice is on IR. So yes, I imagine the Titans are very interested. Odds in falling to Tennessee on the waiver wire are very low, though. I'm actually not sure that's the case as with that last part in terms of it being low, the odds of him falling. But for this year only, Cunningham is very cheap, and that's a valuable part of this whole conversation. And he could be solid. He could find that old form he had. Now, Cunningham and the Texans were not getting along very well. He had been suspended a few times. He violated some rules. There were some issues there from the player staff perspective. But he once was a good football player. Let's get into the contract here because there is some notes, and this is per over the cap, by the way. Cunningham will now go through waivers. That contract is very claimable for 2021 with $422K remaining in salary and per game roster bonus pay for the rest of the year. However, the contract does include a $10 million injury guarantee for 2022, which also vests to a full guarantee on the 5th day of the 2022 league year. They continue, the injury guarantee will likely scare teams off making a claim. If Cunningham does clear waivers, he'll become a street free agent with the ability to sign with any of the 31 teams. So I think that injury guarantee is a factor there. I probably wouldn't want to claim Cunningham because all it takes is yeah, I got to get my knee scoped, and then, hey, that injury guarantee starts to kick in. Now, for Tennessee, if he does clear waivers, I think there should be some interest because, boy, are they decimated. If in the event David Long and Rashaan Evans are going to miss more time, I do think Cunningham could provide a nice little boost and some help to the Titans' linebacking core. Now, in 2020, Cunningham wasn't as good as what he was in the past. He was not nearly as impactful in the run game. He's never really been an elite pass coverage guy, but he's not. It's just not his area. That's a big red flag, and I think he's regressed overall. I mean, you can look at it. It's admittedly 2 years worth of play versus 1 year, but these numbers are very different. That scheme change for Houston to run some more cover 2. It just wasn't a good fit for whatever reason for Cunningham. So what do you guys think? Should the Titans claim Zach Cunningham off of waivers? I say no, but I want to hear from you guys. So with that in mind, type in Y for yes, they should, or N for no, they should not. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes on YouTube, head down and type your responses. Let's move to Ryan Tannehill now, as he's been getting some blame for all the Titans' offensive issues this year, which on one hand is fair. I think you have to blame the quarterback at least somewhat for the Titans' down year offensively. It's also not just the quarterback's fault, so trying to ID, is he the problem? Is he a problem? Is he a solution? Is he the solution? That differentiation certainly does matter from that perspective, but I don't think it's just his fault. Now, we'll come back to Tannehill, but first, I'm trying to hook you guys up with an awesome hoodie. How about this Titans one? Right there, chatsports.com/Titans hoodie. Only $40. A perfect gift this holiday season. The perfect value as well. Check the comment section and check the description. It's chatsports.com Titans hoodie. So it's a Ryan Tannehill now and his stats the past 2 years. 2020, of course, a full 16-game season. 2021, only 12 games so far. So the volume is a little bit down from that perspective. Now, the completion percentage does look fairly similar, although the yards and yards per attempt are way down. And most concerningly, the touchdowns to interceptions, wildly different ratio. Tannehill unquestionably has not been as good as what he was last year. I also don't think it's fair to say, even though he's been lesser, that Tannehill is the biggest problem. I don't think that's the case in Tennessee. You would love your quarterback to be able to make everything look way better than what it is, but think about what the Titans have had as of late on offense. They've had injuries to the offensive line throughout the year. Seems like Nate Davis might come back this week. Taylor Lewan has missed a couple of games. Derrick Henry's out right now, and his top 2 receivers have been out as of late, A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. When you're throwing to Chester Rogers and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, the numbers aren't even there. That's not the entire year. There have been mistakes out of Tannehill. Make no mistake, he has not been as productive as what he was last year. Maybe that's the missing Arthur Smith impact, throwing it out there. But I don't think he's the biggest problem. But he's not playing great either. So I am firmly in the middle. It's not all his fault. I think he can fix it, but there is reason to be concerned right now over Tannehill. So scale it for me. 1 to 10. How worried are you at the current moment about Ryan Tannehill? 1 is the low end, 10 is the high end. Good note here from John Glennon at Glennon Sports. I think is a good reference to say, well, I feel better about Tannehill getting back going this week. Total 11 touchdowns, 9 passing, 2 rush, 0 interceptions in his 4 starts against Jacksonville. He's posted a QB rating of at least 105 in each of those games. And guess who Tennessee plays this week? It is indeed Jacksonville. If they can't bounce back now, after the Jags are in shambles, their quarterback's calling out their coach, are not playing their good players, real thing, by the way, I'm going to be pretty concerned. I feel great about Tennessee picking up a win this week over a pretty bad Jacksonville team. This should really be like a 24-10 type of game, if not maybe a bit higher scoring. We can say 28-10, something like that, 28-13. This should be an easy win for Tennessee. Now, here's Jack getting bold on this one here. Should the Titans look for a new quarterback this offseason? If you can swing a Tannehill for like Russ Wilson trade, sure. I think that's very unlikely, though. But we'll give you guys a chance to sound off. 1 for yes, 0 for no. Should Tennessee go look for a new QB this offseason? Some good news now for the Titans. Kevin Byard is back from the COVID list. One of the premier safeties in the NFL was placed on the list after the Titans game against the Patriots on November 29th. And the timing of the bye actually really helped out Tennessee here. Byard didn't miss any games despite having COVID-19, which is a really good sign for him. He has been impactful again this year. 64 tackles, 5 interceptions. He is, after all, one of the best safeties in the entire NFL. And one more good news note for Derrick Henry. It's not injury-related, but he was named the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Tennessee Titans, so congrats to Derrick Henry on that nomination. If you guys want more Tennessee Titans videos, from news, rumors, to post-game recaps, you've come to the right spot. Hit that big red button today. It's youtube.com/TitansToday.